long shot. Jackpot, 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 riding around the block, shooting those shots.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Showtime Satch, and we are here with another Satchmoe show, man. And we're gonna be talking about Vegas. We got a lot of stuff to get over here, man. And if any of you guys missed the Vegas show, just let me tell you, go back and watch it, man. It's like one of the best UFC 4 events I've ever seen. I think better than ESFL 100, 150. I mean, first off, they just thank C Hunter, Boss, man, all those guys who got it set up, got the thing done. And obviously the commentary, fucking excellent. So shout out those guys. But before we get into the breakdown, man, I actually have a very special interview this weekend. We're gonna be talking to the ESFL Las Vegas runner-up, Suave Jamie. We'll go ahead and send it to that interview now. All right, guys, here we are. It's a few days later, man, and I'm very sorry to announce, but the Suave Jamie interview, the audio didn't record, and I can't ask the man for another interview because I already had to do it twice. So I'll just go ahead and illustrate the main points that he had to say. Obviously, we talked about the controller gate, and if you guys aren't aware of that, that was in, I believe it was the second round of the first fight, the championship fight, where controller disconnected. It was a fight that many people, including myself, I thought Suave Jamie was winning. I talked to Romero about it through Twitter. He said he thought the fight wasn't as bad as it was going, but it was force of nature. It was a pretty significant health and stamina advantage for Jamie, and they had to redo the fight. And in the redo, Suave Jamie ended up losing. So his thoughts on the matter, he thought it was bullshit. That he didn't, like I said, he didn't hate on Romero per se. He said, Romero, he got the win, he did what he needed to do, but he thought he was, it affected him and it hurt, his chances to win. So he was a little upset about that. And then we talked about the return to ESFL and if he has a chance to return to ESFL. And he said he thinks he's already accomplished everything he's done. In my personal opinion, I have to disagree. There is a conversation out there. Who is the greatest? And you got to have that one. If you want to be the greatest, you got to improve it. You can't just be Habib where you might not, and then you leave. I think he's got to go in there one more win versus a Fadinator, Romero, Goat 1099, one of those legacy guys, Zyaf, one of those legacy guys. If he goes in there, gets a win, I don't think people will be questioning it much longer. For some reason, people think Blake Tyler is better than Jamie, and no disrespect to Blake Tyler, excellent athlete. He's not Suave Jamie, if you ask me. They fought, Jamie won, case closed, So, like I said, that was the interview. I'm very sorry I couldn't give it to y'all, but this is the recap. Hope that would do. All right, guys, we are back, and I'd like to thank Suave Jamie, put on an excellent interview. But let's just go ahead and talk about Vegas, man. So first off, we have to talk about the differences. What is the difference between being at a LAN tournament and any other ESFL event? I mean, just from a viewer's perspective, obviously I wasn't there. I'd have to ask the competitors how they felt was different. But the side control position was more dominant. As dominant as it already is, with zero ping, these excellent, these guys are so great at fighting. They were instantly able to deny. And, guys were being held there for a minute 30, just sitting there trying to get their undeniables, just something to get out of side control. So that was a glaring difference. And then when we talk about the striking department, man, like I predicted in my video, guys who had great head movement were the guys who were succeeding. You didn't really see guys that were block breaking. A lot of people thought Bang Bang would go far in the tournament, and his style just isn't conducive to the LAN style. I mean, so we saw. There was one. I can't remember who was fighting. I think it was Jamie and Zyaf, where they went pull back. They pulled back each other's shots 3 times in a row. It was crazy, man. The guys who had the most success were those who were attacking the body early and often. And, mixing it up in the combos, which is the only way you can discourage that kind of crazy head movement. And let's just to talk about the fighters, man, there's so many guys we can talk about. We got Jay Young Butter, who just came out of nowhere, was on fire. But we're going to do a little game I like to play. We're just going to talk about these fighters' stocks, did they improve or did they regress? And what I mean by that, so obviously if a fighter did well, their stock would improve, more guys are going to want to watch them. If they regress, it kind of takes away from, how I think they're going to do in the future. So let's just go ahead and talk. First guy I wanted to bring up is Proxus. This is the guy who I predicted to go really far, and, sadly, he didn't make the Elite 8. Despite that, I still think he improved his stock, because a lot of people are just going to look at that and be like, oh, he went 4-3, this is what we expect. He's just an average guy. You got to realize, so his first fight was against MMA Troll. MMA Troll is a terrible fighter. I've always seen him in ranked where he just lays on people and tries to get sub-spammed. And then when I've seen his striking as well, nothing to be proud of. He just kind of slips the whole time and throws leg kicks. not an impressive fighter, so I can't really defend that loss. But his other 2 losses, we'll just throw it to the side. It was his first fight. We'll give him a pass. But the next 2 fights were Romero and Jamie, and he got a win on both of those guys. Not many other people can say they can get a win in a 3-fight series against Romero or Jamie, which, well, I'll remind you, champion runner-up. So he had some tough matchups right there. He's still able to hang with the best of them. Like I said, his grappling isn't quite there, but in the striking department, it's hard to ignore Prox as being one of the best strikers in UFC 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry about that break, but let's go ahead and move right along. Suave Jamie. And, going into Vegas, this is the guy who I have my reservations about. He said himself he doesn't think he is the competitor he once was, and he doesn't think he can really challenge those elite guys. But, I mean, he was clearly wrong. He went out there, performed at a superb level. If anything, he performed better than he had been back in Season 2 when he had the damn belt and was running away with it. I mean, if you want to talk about this guy, the only thing you talk about is title contender. If he comes back and he fights Romero, he fights Fadnator, GOAT, 1099, one of those top elite guys that have the name, they've been around for a while. If he comes back and beats one of them, I mean, I think he moves up number 1 on the GOAT list. For me, he already is my number 1 GOAT. But if we go off the community, people say he's 2. I think they easily push him past Blake Tyler. And, getting that longest win streak, reclaiming the belt, all that, will push him to number 1. And moving on, Dirty Dave. And this is a guy, I'm sorry for blasting this man all the time. I love Dirty Dave. And listen, if I say anything about you personally, it's not that I don't like you. It's just that, I call it how I see it. And if I see you performing like ass, I'm going to say, hey, you're performing like ass. So, let's go ahead and talk about Dirty Dave, man. And, once again, he failed to impress against top talent. He went out there in the first round and got his ass handed to him. It's just, I don't know what it is about his style where anyone who's not a great fighter, he'll destroy him. Anyone that is a great fighter, he'll get destroyed. Very weird. Not really anyone else like it in the community, but, a lot of people have started to compare him to Beneil Dariush. You know what I'm saying? He's good everywhere, but he's not great anywhere, and then no one gives a fuck when he fights. And, I have to find that sentiment pretty true. Much love from my brother, but he's a gatekeeper. Moving on, talk about Romero, the guy with the belt. And we've been talking about Controller Gate a lot. A lot of people have been perpetuating that on Twitter, on the Discord, like, hey, it's a fake belt. It's not. At the end of the day, what happened. This man still went out there performing. He was still won 3 fights. He still won 3 fights, right? He won 3 out of 2 or 3, and he got the belt. So all congratulations to him, man. And the whole time, man, he was on the ropes against everybody. If I didn't have my glasses on, I'd have thought this man was Charles Oliveira. Because every time I see him out there, he was getting rocked and he would just come back. Just, the ability to reset. Most people, they get rocked and they're like, all right, I got to get it right back. Or, they get knocked out because they're too worried about defending themselves. The ability of this man to mentally reset and like, all right, this is what I got to do to win this fight. He did it over and over again. Every fighter had a chance to win. Dabikin. And honestly, I thought Dabikin won the decision, but he lost and then he couldn't mentally refocus for that 3rd fight. Romero took advantage of that. Jay Young Butter even got a win on him. And, Jamie, like I said, I thought that Controller Gate might have messed with his head. He started out 1-0 and, it kind of messed with him. So, like I said, the ability to stay focused is what won Romero this championship. And obviously his supreme talent. So, like I said, he's going to remember as one of the greats, if not the greatest, for a very long time. And, like I said, guys, if you did not see ESFL Las Vegas, 100%, at least go watch the final 8 fights. They have it split up to where it's the Swiss tournament and then the final 8 fights. Watch those, the championship tournament, and you will not be disappointed. If you've never seen ESFL film before, go tune into that one because that is fucking fantastic. And guys, before I go, I'm going to do myself a little plug here. I normally don't do these, but Friday night fights, by the time this video comes out, it might already be done, it might not. But 8 p.m. Eastern, we're having a Friday night fight with Zyaf. If it's past that date, I will have it uploaded for everyone to see on YouTube. So check it out, because I'm going to stomp Zyaf's head into the ground. And ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you in the next one.
Heat. I be selling that heat. What you got?